Well, hi there, and welcome along to another edition of What's the Word in association with Ladbrokes. I'm Tom Malone, and this week I'm joined by James Morden from our sponsors Ladbrokes. How are you, James?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, Tom. And yourself?
Enjoying spring?
Yeah, enjoying it now.
You're not really dressed for it, but you're enjoying it, yeah?
No, unfortunately not. But
you're a winter dresser.
I dress for the weather. I expect rather than what we get at this stage.
Okay. Juki, you're kind of a... How are you? You all right?
Great form, yeah, no, a real pep in my step with the
It's
weather.
nearly time for you to bring out your spring-summer wardrobe, is it?
Yes,
Linen trousers is probably a bit soon for that, isn't it?
Well, you would think so, but I mean, these are exceptional times, Tom. So
Absolutely.
the linen might have made an appearance in March.
Yeah, no. Well, you know, good for linen trousers, bad for the future of the planet, but you know. And Johnny Ward beside me as well. Hey, Johnny, all right?
Yeah, good night at the preview last night with you.
Yes, we did. We have been Cheltenham previewing it up, so I'm going to start with that. Best nugget, go on, James, start you. Best nugget you picked up at the Cheltenham preview night so far.
I heard your namesake was talking about one, and it was Lawler. It's Dickie Johnson apparently is putting up serious miles on the car, going up and down the country riding him for his bits of work. So I think that could be an interesting one for the Arkle.
Okay, and they're apparently going to drown the course with water, so it'll still be, what element of softness will be in it will probably be in the first day. Anyway, what about you, Juki?
Are they going to need to water? I thought there was going to be 35 mils of rain.
It's not going to rain. You look outside.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, well, it'll be good to soft, it'll be grand. What about me? Danny Mullins, I've only been to one, and Danny Mullins was on it, and he very kindly pointed out that his hunch is that Classical Dream and Araman will be split up. So I'd say that's actually being decided, and just they're not telling anyone. So in that case, Classical Dream will be on for the Ballymore. He's currently 7-1 now, runner no bet. I can't see him going off 7-1. So that's one I back. And he also mentioned that Carefully Selected is alive and well.
Yeah, well, that's good news for you.
Well, it's great news. It's great, the future of national hunt racing, but we won't see him until
probably next year.
Next season.
Yeah, okay. What age will he be by the time he actually runs again?
He'd be 70. I'd say you go novice chase, and you'll hopefully see him on a wet November day in Navan.
Okay. Well, you're counting, you've wished away the entire summer just for that.
It's exciting, yeah. Well, he's alive.
And what about you, Johnny? Best nugget you came across in the old preview circuit so far?
I think it was probably Dennis Hogan relaying how Pat Kelly told him 12 months ago that President Percy would win the Gold Cup this year.
Yeah.
Just after he'd won the RSA chase, and that's about as much as we'll ever get from Pat Kelly, I think.
Yeah, well, second-hand information is as good as
I believe Dennis.
I believe Dennis.
Also, Kate Harrington relayed that Robbie Power said that nothing will beat Lost in Translation in the JLT, effectively.
Yeah. He made sure she didn't want, Jessica didn't want anything.
So I'm giving you nuggets on two favourites, basically.
There you go. Solid stuff. Winners. Yeah. It's all about winners.
Yeah. Well, if you double them up, you're still getting like nearly 20-1.
Yeah, exactly. We do have one of our Racing Post Cheltenham Festival guides to give away, by the way. So we've come up with a question. And, you know, Willie Mullins, mares hurdles, he's dominated them, right? So, 14 mares races there have been overall at the festival. He's won 12 of them. So, we want viewers to name the other two. So, who were the two mares to win hurdles not trained by Willie Mullins? So, get the answers in the comment section, and winner will be drawn out of a hat. And we'll give them a Racing Post Cheltenham Festival guide. Lots and lots of good stuff in there, right? Let's move on to the weekend's action. It's not the greatest, but that's kind of the Cheltenham effect, isn't it?
Yeah. These things happen. It's the calm before the storm.
Yes. Yeah. Very calm though.
Very.
Very calm.
It's the doldrums before the storm. Yes.
Yeah. Let's move on to Newbury in the 240s. A decent handicap. James, how did Ladbrokes bet in this?
Yeah, the Greatwood Gold Cup. There's 16 of them going, so hopefully they'll all turn up and we'll have the extra place available. It is War Sound 11-2, Happy Diva at 6-1, Dallas at 7-1, Mercy and Prince at 8, and there's a whole host of them at 10s or bigger.
Well, you've had a little look over this, Juki. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see Javert as big as 14-1. Pretty talented horse. He disappointed at Cheltenham in November, but I don't think Cheltenham is his track. He's been there twice and he's looked uncomfortable on it. The break seems to be no harm. He's a good record fresh. And the form of his comeback win at Uttoxeter, and particularly his second to Frodon in the old Roan chase.
Now it looks better and better, doesn't it?
Well, it looks better and better. I don't think a mark of 149 is beyond them. Yards in good nick.
Yeah, I was going to say, Emma Levan's really come back into it.
14-1 just doesn't really add up, does it?
No, there's a lot of boxes ticked.
I think so, Tom.
What about you, Johnny?
I'm going to go Dolos, trained by Paul Nichols. I personally hate these competitive handicap chases. I think there's horses have very little in hand. I think you really should generally not betting them at all, because I don't think they're good betting races. The key to this race is 4 places. Maybe Ladbrokes might offer a special on the day, but otherwise these races are horrible. But this lad is in good form. He won readily at Sandown. He stays his trip well, and I'm a big fan of Lorcan Williams as well. He's claiming the 5, and basically going back to my point, if you can get any weight advantage at all, he is claiming 5. He's a good rider, this lad. And Paul Nicholls' horses are absolutely flying.
Yeah, king of Saturdays, isn't he?
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. He might have a pretty decent Cheltenham Festival. I know he doesn't have an awful lot of graded horses, but I think they
never leaves empty-handed.
The top British, he never leaves empty-handed. I think him and Nicky will have a much better festival than has been the case.
Yeah. Do you think? Yeah, do you think he'd be top trainer? But
I think Nicky Henderson will be top trainer. But I could see. I wouldn't be amazed if Paul Nicholls had more winners than one of Willie and Gordon. Could be one of those festivals.
Okay.
Willie is like 1 or 2 favourites. That's it.
Well, yeah.
So he'd probably do a lot better than that, but I don't think the Irish will be anywhere near as dominant this year.
Yeah. Well, that would be quite an ask as well. We're looking over at Navan as well. The 3:25 from Navan on Saturday. This race is cut up completely. Just the 4 runners for this Flying Bolt Novices Chase. But again, it's just a product of the season, isn't Novice Chases this time of the year? So few of them are out.
And the quick ground as well. I mean, there's 4 runners, but it looks an effective match. And I wouldn't trust Jets in a walkover. So that leaves Duke of the Tie, who disappointed at the Dublin Racing Festival, but is normally a rock solid horse. And I could just see him. I could see Jets travelling, coming there and sticking his head in the air. So I'd go for Duke of the Tie.
Yeah, Johnny.
I think you're a bit harsh on Jets there. He's already beaten around here.
He has, yeah. And he's won 2 races, and he does keep good company, but he doesn't look like he likes the game to me.
I'm going to go with Jets. I wouldn't entirely rule out Mrs. Lovett, because I don't think you can bank on either of the other 2 running their race. Jets probably ran better at the Dublin Racing Festival than Duke of the Tie in different company.
Yeah.
But the last thing we needed was the warm weather we've had this week. Like, we needed rain, and if we didn't get rain, we could do it like just drab weather. But instead, we're getting real drying weather. And like, if you'd a chaser, you'd be very reluctant to run him at Navan or Leopardstown. And there's little Navan or Leopardstown can do at this stage, because like they'd literally have to pour for about 2 weeks to get much of a difference into the ground. It's real drying weather. Like, it's warm, and it's no surprise the fields are small. But Jet might win this under Paul Townend, who's an interesting book.
Anything else around Saturday? Because Saturday's going to be a busy day. If there isn't the highest quality on offer, there's quite a lot of racing on Saturday. Anything for you around other cards, Dukey?
Well, Paul Nicholls is going to have a day of it at Kelso, but they'll all be pretty short, so I'll leave that alone. There's a listed race in Lingfield at 3:50, not a strong race for the grade. The Mark Johnson yard is flying at the moment. This deep intrigue, he's very speedily bred now, but he shapes in his races like he wants to step up to 7 furlongs. He's a great attitude, and that might be enough to see him land a hat-trick. He'll be about 7-2. So that's 1.
Look at this. You wished away the summer a few moments ago, and now here you are tipping up flat horses on the 1st of March.
Oh, I'm all about content.
Yeah.
I'd find content in the foxhole time. The 3:35, the Grimthorpe Chase, very evocative name. I always think that, the Grimthorpe.
The Grimthorpe.
This Dingo Dollar, I mean, a shocking performance in more ways than one at the track the last day. He just never jumped, and he's one of the best jumpers.
He's normally such a good jumper.
So we just have to put that down as an aberration, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, he was 3-1 for that. That was a better race than this. He's going to be, as a result of that, he's going to be something like 4-1 tomorrow. I think he's worth giving another chance to.
Yeah.
And I decided, I really found it desperately difficult yesterday, so I decided I'd just give the viewers a winner.
A winner.
Because winners are always welcome, right?
Winners are
Won't
always
be much of a price, but the 5:10 in Navan is a bumper. Doesn't look a great bumper, and there's a horse running in the call. You Can Call Me Al. Very eye-catching fourth, and probably an above-average maiden hurdle at Naas. If he runs to that at all, and he made a couple of mistakes with his jumping, and it was an educational run. If he runs to that, unless there's one of the newcomers who aren't from high-profile state, well, Gavin Cromwell, but generally aren't from high-profile state, unless one of them is really good, this will be winning.
Yep, You Can Call Me Al to get us out with a winner at Navan on Saturday. Anything else for you around the Saturday cards, Johnny?
I have a couple at Navan. Caravation in the 220. This mare came to prominence when I was trying to back her to place at Naas 2 runs back, and the phone I had was really, really on its last legs. And the reason I was trying to back her to place was she was basically going out in front in what was a race in which Relegate and Barrington Court completely dominated the betting, but she was the only one in the betting otherwise. And I could see that Luke Dempsey was going to make the running. So I frantically tried to back her to place because I was at the track, and my phone just went completely mad, and I literally said, I'm never using you again. Got rid of the phone. Of course she finished, and she nearly won that day. Lumped on her at Fairyhouse the last year, couldn't see her being beaten, and was beaten. And I think the only reason she was beaten was because she kept jumping out to her left, basically. And it mightn't have been the worst performance, even though I was disappointed she was beaten. But going back left-handed, I think she'll make all the running here. She should take a hell of a lot of beating. The stable's been in good form. And another number one, hopefully in the number one spot, in the 255. This is an interesting runner now. The Mulclare Rover for Dot Love. So the owner's horses have gone to both Dot Love and also to Ross O'Sullivan. I think they've generally just moved from John Joe Walsh's. I don't really know what went on there, but this horse is quite well handicapped, and I think the bookmakers are going to underestimate him. And Cathal Lander is claiming the 5 as well. He's a very good rider, I think, and this horse is more than enough ability to win off what's an effective 111.
Yeah, so Mulcare Rover at Navan in 255 and Carvation half an hour earlier. Anything for you on Saturday, James? Jumping off the cards?
I look at the 4 o'clock there in Navan. A shrewd operator for me for PJ Rothwell. Adam Short booked to ride. He's getting weight all around. He's getting a stone and nearly 2 stone, in fact, off the top weight Vaynard. And I think Adam Short's £3 claim is going to bring him down to a nice little weight there as well. And I'd imagine he'll be in the top 2. It's only going to be 2 places, and hopefully he can get his nose in front for the win. So shrewd operator in the 4 o'clock.
Shrewd operator. Good.
That's what I'd like to consider myself
just
sometimes.
like you, James. Just like you.
Shrewd operator, and you can call me Al. Of course, both lyrics from songs.
Yeah.
So could be that sort of weekend.
Yeah. Are you, geez, you're gonna see? You look like you're gonna burst into song.
No, I knew you can call me Al. There, that was Paul Simon. I got shrewd up and but I don't know who's done that.
Okay, let's move. We won't use that to win a Cheltenham preview guide. Right. Let's move on to the Sunday action at Leopardstown. Again, small fields, just because. Like I say, beautiful day on the 1st of March. It's been sunny all week. The ground is going to be quick, although they have put water on it. Anything jumping off this card at you, Johnny?
I'd say this could be the quickest ground we have in Ireland all season, because Leopardstown are just going to really struggle. Like, I'm bored saying it at this stage, but we've had no rain for about 11 months, like literally hardly any rain in Dublin.
Yeah.
I was taking a shower the other day and I was like, is this actually immoral at this stage? Because water levels must be so bloody low at this. Like, where we just have had no rain.
Crisis of conscience.
And now they have to water, which itself is probably immoral as well. But in any event, it's no surprise the fields are very, very small.
And is there anything that sort of jumps out at you off the back of that? Sort of, like, you look at the first race today, you've got the...
like, I mean, the likes of Tombstone, really, this is not his ground. I think they're running Tombstone at this stage because, he's had his problems, and they're like, why haven't been training unless we're going to give him runs? But they're completely not helped at all by the ground this season. I am interested in the 310 race. I think 2 horses here are quite interesting. One of them is Ming Dynasty, who hacked up at Naas last Sunday. He was a horse that definitely wasn't straightforward, but I think they gave him a wind operation. Gavin Cromwell had 2 winners last weekend, and if he's in that form, he could take a lot of beating. But I'm more interested in Western Sea, who's another of the owner's horses. This one is with Ross O'Sullivan. He's the owner I mentioned. I think he might be. Actually, I forget his name, but in any event, this horse absolutely ran away with Mark Enright at Naas last time, very well backed. He ran quite an extraordinary race to finish as close as he did. Rachel Blackmore and a Hood should help, and I'm quite interested in him. And my other selection is running in the 450 School Lane for the aforementioned Adam Short, who rides this for Liam Lennon. This horse has been quite well punted since he's gone handicapping. I think he's been looking for his best trip, and I think he's found it here.
That's School Lane.
School Lane, the 450.
What at Leopardstown has caught your eye?
Yeah, I agree with Johnny. That 210, it is a funny race. I mean, Tombstone and 3 Stars are the obvious ones, but Tombstone is...
I mean, on ratings, Tombstone's £20 better than everything.
He's had so many problems. I couldn't trust him running on that ground.
I couldn't trust him, and 3 Stars hasn't run over hurdles for 3 years and isn't in great form. If you were getting something like 6 or 7 to 1 about that Oscar's Den, would it be worth throwing? I know he's 11, and how good can he be? But you just could see something silly happening in that race. So
could be a good start to the day. You know what I mean? One of those, like, it's like I say, a throwaway 5 or a 10, and just get you off to a cracking start.
He's not racing like an 11-year-old at all, that horse.
No, and interestingly, that 310 you were talking about, the King of Braga, what a job Henry de Bromhead has done with
13 now?
He's 12. He's won 3 of his last 4 races, and he will run off a career high mark on Sunday. So I mean, that's some effort, but you'd have to oppose him. I thought actually the Silver Star was moderately interesting in that. Right, the King of Brega, that was an ordinary race he won in an ace, £9, or not the King of Brega, Ming Dynasty. Sorry, I thought that might do for him the race. But anyway, the 345 ain't done yet. That'll surely make up for the misfortune of Ferrier, as Carter Mackay doesn't seem to relish jumping fences.
I was going to say, Carter Mackay has been a disappointment.
Very
for
much
quite
so.
some time.
Yeah. He jumped the first 5 fences quite well on his chase debut in Ace, and he hasn't jumped a fence since. So,
okay. So who you're opposing him with?
Ain't done yet. Yeah, that looks an obvious. Be short, but winners. And then the 415. This Monatomic. This is a fair race, but he's in good form. He would have been third to riders on Storm on his penultimate start. That form's
one of your Cheltenham fancies.
Yeah, that form's going to look good in about 11 days.
Another from a lyric of the song "Riders in the Storm."
Yes, the Doors. I know that one. Yeah. And then he went and ran second to that Poker Pilot. He's a right good horse and very solid form. I repeated that probably enough. He's £5 higher.
Yeah,
but I thought that
a lot of the other runners in this race are
out of
totally
form.
exposed and out of form as well. So yeah, so you popping up Monatomic there in the 415. James, anything for you on the Leopardstown card on Sunday?
Yeah, and the big handicap, the 415, I like the looks of Teacher's Pet for the Dempseys and JP McManus.
Desperately unlucky at Thurles. Yeah, desperately unlucky.
I think this is the type of race for Teacher's Pet. And then in the 240, the maiden hurdle, I like Timber House, who was 5th of 18 at Punchestown on debut. I do expect them to come on for that in the Qatar racing colours, actually.
Yeah.
So I don't think Carter Mackay is going to win, mind you, but I do think they will have a winner on the card.
Sheepfad will surely be there himself, won't he? Maybe.
There's no charity race, so I don't think so.
Right, let's move on to some of our best bets of the weekend. Maybe we'll get a selection for Cheltenham as well from you guys too. I know I've sprung this on you. We'll add that in too, all right? The Cheltenham selection each. But right, your best bets for the weekend upcoming. James, to start with you, and then give us a Cheltenham selection.
Yeah, I am going to go with Duca de Tay in the 325 on Saturday. I like Timber House in the 240 on Sunday, and Dollos in the 240 on Saturday as well.
Anything at Cheltenham?
My nap of the Cheltenham Festival is going to be Dallas the Pictons in the Martin Pipe.
You have to wait all week for it.
All week for it, but it's going to be worth it. So bear with me.
Rolling everything, you're going to roll everything into it, yeah?
Well, I wouldn't like to admit how deep I'm into it myself at the moment.
Okay, that's fair enough. Still, geez, napping the last. It's tricky going, isn't it?
Well, what a gambler you are. You just roll everything into the last, do you? I mean, that's the way to do it, Tom. Go for the home run ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, go on, give us your best bets for the weekend and then one for Cheltenham.
Well, I've been inspired. I think I'll go for the home run ball as well with the 14-1 Javert, so I'll nap that. And I'll stick him in a Trixie with Dingo Dollar in the 335 in Doncaster. And you can call me Al in the 510 in Navan, because I have one winner.
And one for Cheltenham?
Well, one for Cheltenham. Like, again, this team of just back winners, just back Paisley Park, because he will win. A more imaginative one in the Kim Muir Sky Pirate. He's around 14-1. I don't think he'd be going off the colour of that. He's a big chance.
Good stuff. Johnny, 3 for the weekend.
3 for the weekend. Caravation 220 at Navan, the Mulcare Rover 255 at Navan, and Western Sea for the same owner in the 310 at Leopardstown. That would be more than enough of a treble. You wouldn't need to bet on Cheltenham at all, actually, if they come off. I think the two of them will be double figures. Cheltenham, I can't see Sir Eric being beaten. I think it's very boring to say it, but I don't really care because he's odds against, and I think he's a certainty. And at a bigger price, Ballyworda is a massive chance in the 4 miler. And in the handicaps, I'd give Uradell and probably Measure My Dreams in the Kim Muir.
Good stuff. Loads of winners there. Right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget the prize for the Cheltenham Festival Guide as well. Just name those 2 mares to win at Cheltenham who are not trained by Willie Mullins. All the rest he won. Right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week with more What's the Word.